Good morning, genius. Let's talk about abundance, shall we? I keep hearing oh I keep hearing from a lot of you guys talk about gratitude and abundance. So, but before that, let me answer to one of my buddy here that is really waiting for some pumping and breath work. He's like, "Hi, thanks for another beautiful video, but I'm still waiting for that explanation for pumping. How about that, sir?" Like, yes, fine, fair enough. So, during the breath work, when you um, when you exhale and you're not inhaling until you pull your stomach in, right? And when you pull your stomach in, then you only breathe through your upper chest as much as you can, and then you hold it, right? And as you hold it, you put your attention on the top of your head, 7. I just meditated. My hair's probably messy right now. Who cares? So you put your attention on 7 after that. Then you lock in your shoulder down, and you just lock in your back muscles. And after, technically, you can just do Kegels, and that alone will be doing pumping. You can be pulling your stomach in more and more, in and out. That could be pumping. And some people do this. I've seen some advanced student do this the whole time. And it works for them. So, abundance. I was talking to Kamal from Australia, and she was saying her fiance is struggling with career, money, stuff. And she's getting married this year. And he's in the trucking industry. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. We have such a giant shortage of truckers in the United States. Her fiance is in the United States. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. We have such a giant shortage of truckers. And truckers make 6 figures in America. I don't understand this. What do you mean and apparently he can't find a job in trucking? If there's anyone in the United States watching this, maybe you guys can tell me how to help her fiance find a job in trucking industry. Or maybe what I'll do is when I see some trucks on the road and it says drivers wanted, I should take a picture of it and send it to her. And I immediately said, and she started laughing when I said that. I was like, money's everywhere. Just go get it. I don't understand why people don't have money. She's like, yeah, but how? I was like, well, there's 2 ways to do it. One way is to be changing matter with matter. Apply for jobs and go to interviews and have all this nonsense of this torturous work before you might land a job that you don't even like and it's making you miserable, but paying you, I suppose. Another way is to do the work. Imagine this. There's a version of you, right, out there in the quantum that has $1 million in the checking account right now. There's a version of you right there in the quantum. There's a version of you that has a job, if you don't. There's a version of you that has a nice job and that you might want. But how do you get that? Observer effect. That's how. So the more you give attention to the version of you that you want to be, the more you are going to begin to collapse that wave into particle. Now, how does that happen? The way that happens is that you will begin to embody that person in your field. That version of you might be a lot healthier than you, a lot more confident, a lot more brave, a lot more assertive, you know, a lot more sure of themselves, a lot more in love with life, more in awe of life, right? So the more you think about that person, imagine if you were obsessed with somebody, you wanted to stalk somebody, like some people on here that didn't know how to get to me and they were stalking me. They were looking for me on LinkedIn and social media and searching my name online on Google. And they did all this stuff and they finally found me. I love you guys. Anna. So, you guys, you're obsessed with this person. Who is this person? It's you, but it's in the form of energy. It's a form of wave. And that person, you're always thinking about what that person's thinking, which is you. But you're not familiar with them yet. So there's a lot of curiosity, right? And you're thinking, what would that person be doing right now? First thing in the morning, the version of me that has $1 million in their bank account. What is, when that person wakes up in the morning, the me, that version of me, what do they work out more? You know, before they go to sleep, do they wash their face and put the night lotion on and their skin looks a little bit more better? You know, what is their morning ritual? What is their evening ritual? Guess what you're doing while you're doing that? And while you're obsessing over what they might be doing, when you're thinking about what they might be looking at, what kind of house do they live in? What do they drive? And as you continue to do that, you will begin to literally, through the observer effect, you're giving them that attention, attempting to collapse them from wave into particle. But the way that's happening is because that person is outside of space and time. Your field changes, your energy changes. There are different genes that are turned on in that version of you than you. And as you do that and you begin to feel good, right? The emotions, you're training your body slowly. And through the meditations, you might have visions where you can see through that version of you. And you'll start to see visions of what kind of house they live in. You'll see visions of the love they have, the relationships they have. You'll begin to see things. You'll begin to start to do, yeah, sounds like magic, sounds all esoteric, right? That happens to me. That happened to me. That's how I know so much about the ranch. The first floor, the back, the driveway, the gate, everything. How I know. The more you obsess with that, the more you begin to change. Because you're beginning to become that. And that is how that version of you collapses from wave into particle. And then it becomes you at some point. The better you get at it, the faster that happens. The more you do your work. How do you get better at it? David King. What does that mean? Here's how you get better at it. Clear your energy centers of all the garbage that is stuck in it. All the subconscious programming. All beliefs our subconscious programs. So the fact that, I was hearing her tell me that her fiance and some of, her parents or somebody else in her family are saying that it's so hard to find jobs these days. Belief, change, don't want it. I can't even make my mortgage payment anymore. Change. Don't want that. All of this is programming. Imagine you keep telling other people that you aren't able to make your payments. You aren't able to do. What are you doing? You're emitting frequency. You're basically asking the quantum. Here's what you're asking the quantum. Can you please bring me some synchronicities and coincidences and experiences in life where I'm not able to make my mortgage payment so they can validate what I'm actually telling all these people, what I'm going through? Now, in the moment, yeah, sure, you might not be able to make that payment. But when you speak it, when you say it, those thoughts turn into chemicals. You're telling your autonomic nervous system to tell your cells, we are in lack. Then the cells will upregulate and downregulate certain genes, and you will begin to feel sick. You will age faster. All these things will happen. It'll affect your field. You're emitting light of lack. Okay, David King, I'm in lack, but I'm going to pretend that I'm not in lack. How do I do that? You begin with the fact that, let's say you have never done meditations. And if you are very busy during the weekdays, let's pretend on Saturdays and Sundays, you dedicate yourself so much that for 5 hours a day on Saturday and 5 hours a day on Sunday, you're going to close your eyes and you're going to train your body what it's like to be that version of you. You're going to train your body of so much gratitude that your body begins to not only program itself, but it's convinced that it is that version of you for at least 5 hours on Saturday, let's say, or 5 hours on Sunday. And then perhaps, an hour or two during the weekdays every day. So now you go from 0 hours a day of pretending to be that person to almost 10 hours a week of being that person. The person that is not in lack and has $1 million and is living your life and is going to Dr. Joe retreats and takes his partner out on a beautiful, dinner, would surprise him or her with stuff, going on vacations, get in the cabin, get away from civilization for a little bit, forest bathe when you want to, and just have some evening fire, and you do these things. Now imagine I'm creating a story, right? As I'm talking, I'm creating a story. Now, surely there's a version of me that is doing that right now. Well, I'm doing that right now. I do that all the time. I love camping. I always go to the mountaintops. Just book a cabin, just stay there for 2 weeks with my puppy and just do my thing and have my fire. There's nobody there. It's just me in the wilderness. Last time I was on the deck of one cabin and a cub ran up to me and I'm like, uh-oh. And then there was a mama bear. It's like, not good. This is not good. So, fun times. So, the more you practice with your eyes closed with meditation, this is step number one. How can I feel abundant? How can I feel gratitude for things that aren't there? Belief, change. This is the wrong question to ask. The right question is, and this is the beautiful part. Now you can think about the how, but once you become that person, don't say, how is that person, how did that person get the $1 million? How did that person buy that house? Doesn't matter. That's none of your business. Universe wants to take care of that for you. Why do you want to take extra headaches? Just pretend to be that person. Ask yourself, what is that person doing? What is their morning routine and evening routine? And if your morning and evening routine now changes to reflect that version of you, morning and evening routine. So now you're already 20, 40% there. You have, the universe cares about who you're being, right? The universe cares about, wants to give you what you deserve. What do you deserve? What are you asking? What are you emitting? What are you asking for? You can't ask for to be that version of you, and you have all these things stuck in you. Resentment, thinking about past. I was talking to Shrishti last night. She was so high on life all of a sudden. I've been really working on her. I've been sending her energies. I did meditations for her. Every night I do meditations before I drift away in my sleep. I think about you guys, your comments, the emails that I'm reading. I have this problem. I have that problem. Cole from Canada says he wants to be me. He wants to think like me, have the life like me, or whatever, something like that. He said something like that. And when I read your emails and I read your comments and I read your text messages, I'm in pain. This is hurting. That's hurting. All this. And I do my meditations. And when I do it, I literally think about it one at a time, one email at a time, one person at a time. Shrishti, Kamal was hurting. Her knee is hurting. This person wants to be me. Cole, you know? And, bless him for the fact that he offered to make a website for me, for my channel. I was thinking, I was like, how do I do that? Do I need to hire someone? And all of a sudden he calls me and he's like, I'll make one for you. It's like, geez, see? The universe just takes care of it. Abundance. And they keep drumming that into you guys. It's easier than you think it is. Pretend I want more coffee. And I'm like, I have to get up and I have to go all the way over there. No. The quantum wants to bring that coffee maker right to me. Somehow. You just have to be that version of you. Become that version of you. And the more you start to do that, your personality will change. The genes that version of you has turned on, upregulated, that will happen to you. Downregulated, that'll happen to you. Oh my God. I hope I'm recording. Yes. Okay. Okay. And then things will just start to change. Things will start to change, guys. I can give you examples after examples of people, but example of me. It's like you leave the army because you got hurt, and you go to medical school with all the savings that you saved from the army, and you fall short. Now you ran out of money, and you drop out, and you come back to the United States. You're now homeless, working in a gas station, sleeping on someone's couch. That was me. But you know what changed everything? I made a choice that was bigger than my program. I made a choice that was bigger than the lack that I was looking at, that I was experiencing. I said, I'm going to make more money than physicians. Damn it. Happened. How? How? I have no idea how. It just happened. Wake up, people. I was talking to Jill yesterday. She joined us in the live meditation. We had 2 amazing live meditations yesterday. And after meditation, there was a Q&A. The last Q&A was long. It was like almost 2 hours. But it doesn't matter. I love you guys. I want to help. Who's paying me for this? Who's paying me for this? The quantum is paying me for this. And you guys are going to pay me with your sheer will. You want to pay me for this? Make a commitment. No skipping days. No, sir, no, ma'am. Nope. Full, all in. You're going to be the force for good in this world. You're going to be the force for kindness in this world. You're going to be forced, you're going to be the picture of patience in this world. You're going to bless strangers when you just look at them. Things, abundance and gratitude and love and kindness and patience is going to just ooze out of you, going to just flow out of you. That's when magic happens. So many of you guys are living in lack. So many of you guys are hurting. So many of you guys are confused. Jill and other people, some of the people I was talking to told me that they read all these books, they did all these things, they have understood all the concepts and everything else, but they never committed to the work until they saw my videos. And on one side of the things, I was in awe of it. And on the other side, I was like, now I have to keep going. Because if I don't, there are some of you guys that wouldn't even begin this work, let alone continue with the motivation of this work. Who are you going to pretend to be? Which version of you are you going to pick and stock and think about, what is that version of me thinking right now? And when you're being lazy, that's the time to think about it. Right at that moment, what is that version of me that I want to bring to reality, that I want to collapse from wave to particle? What is that version of me doing right now? I should try doing that. Why not? Right? I should do what that version of me might be doing. That's cool. That'll be fun, right? And the moment you do that, you begin to change the field. You begin to change the information that is going into your autonomic nervous system. You begin to change your personality, which then, as a consequence, changes your hologram, changes your personal reality. That's the law. That is how it works. When I was living in lack, sleeping on someone else's couch, some of you guys, but when I look around and when I go to the gas station and I can't buy, what do you mean I'm supposed to say I'm abundant? I did. I don't know how I did it. I just did it. Standing in a gas station 12 hours a day. I would be massaging the bottom of my feet every night because it was hurting so much. I was standing 12 to 14 hours a day in front of behind the counter. I just felt abundant. I just knew that I was going to make more than physicians. I shouldn't pick on physicians. They're going to be like, hey, David King, chill out. Sorry, I'm jealous. I didn't finish medical school. I just had to beat you in something, and that's money. It is what it is. Abundance. Ask me more questions about abundance so I can specifically not only pick some examples, but I can specifically go into techniques of certain aspects of abundance. So when you listen to this and you think about this and you put this in practice, there's going to be some thoughts that come into your mind. Okay, but how does that work? Or wait, I'm doing this, but am I doing this correctly? Or how do I do that? And as those thoughts come to you, tell me. I do have quite a few new people that emailed me about the live meditations. I am going to have 2 more live meditations next Saturday. Thank you guys so much for joining those live meditations and then asking questions and Q&A. And both of the meditations that we did yesterday together, I also did a healing meditation, but that was for a different group of advanced meditators. Some of you guys want to do the healing. You guys want me to figure out the healing, but I can only do that if some of you if some of you can begin to learn how to do the healing meditations. Not only that, if some of you guys get to that level, I will then create a group with you guys, and we can then take requests for specific people that are ill, and then we can do healing meditations for them. Now, I can do a healing meditation for you on my own. That's not a big deal. But unless you know how to do deep meditations, unless you can open your heart, Unless you are in the state of receivership, it won't work. So there's techniques into that, and I'll go into that probably in the next couple of videos. Enjoy your day, guys. Stay awake. No going subconscious autopilot stuff. None of that. None of that. Okay? Change. Don't want it. I really love you guys. I love you.